So about 5 weeks ago I fertilized my lawn, and I used two different kind of fertilizers. I used no nitrogen fertilizer on my backyard and high nitrogen fertilizer on my side strip. I kind of did that because I wanted to see the difference, because in Sweden we don't use nitrogen just before winter. I don't know a single person in Sweden that actually uses a high nitrogen fertilizer just before winter. But watching a lot of YouTube videos, I've seen that a lot of other people use a lot of nitrogen just before winter, so I wanted to test the difference. So it's been about 5 weeks now, and I've seen that it's definitely growing more on the side strip. I mean, that's to be expected since it's a lot of nitrogen, and we're getting to the end of the season now. We're into the low 40s and the mid 30s, and we had some frost during mornings, so it's not going to grow anymore now. So before I wrap up this season, I kind of want to aerate the lawn first and give it a last fertilizer. So this will be sort of the last breath of fresh air and nutrients for the lawn to take with it to spring. So I'm going to aerate to make sure all the nutrients go down to the roots, so it can be safely stored away to spring. And if you do this just before winter dormancy, I promise you your lawn will come back quicker in the spring than your neighbors. I mean, that's all we want, right? Beat the neighbors. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna aerate the lawn first using my spiked roller, and then we're gonna add the last fertilizer just before winter dormancy. So let's go. Hey everyone, my name is Sam and I'm your average Joel lawn nut. So before we continue on with this video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it. It really helps me out a lot growing my channel and create more content like this. So if you wouldn't mind, just hit that thumbs up and let's get going with the aerating and fertilizing. Alright, so I will be using my spiked garden roller for this to aerate. I mean, this is a lot easier than going around with a pitchfork all around the lawn. And this thing is awesome. It's cheap. You just fill it up with water or sand and you're good to go. And you can actually remove the spikes if you just want to use it as a normal roller. The only objection I kind of have with this thing is that these spikes aren't that long. So these are about 4.5 centimeters, so just over 1.5 inch. So for me, I would say these are just a bit too short. I would rather have these go a bit deeper into the soil, maybe 5-6 centimeters or about 2 inches. That would be perfect, but I mean, this is what I have, and I would still rather do this over the entire lawn than go around it with a pitchfork. And when it comes to late fall aerating, I'm not doing any hollow tine aerating. This is just spike aeration, just to make sure air and nutrients reach the roots better. So this is perfect for that. All right, just to give you an idea of how it looks. So I have a lot of these kind of small holes. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, right here, here. So these will kind of work as a pathway down to the roots for air and nutrients. So it's a perfect way of kind of giving your lawn an easier way to actually absorb all the nutrients. All right, so I'm done with the aeration with my spiked garden roller, and I'll put a link in the description below for one of these. I think this particular one with these kind of spikes is only available in Sweden, but I saw another one on Amazon which I think is available everywhere. I'll put a link to that one if you want to check it out. And I would say everyone needs a garden roller at home, and if that one happens to turn into spiked roller, that's even better. But maybe you prefer to go all around the lawn with a pitchfork, I don't know. But if you're kind of lazy like me and you want a quicker way, then I would say this is a perfect way of kind of aerating your lawn. Just to stress, this doesn't relieve any compaction or anything like that. This just makes air and nutrients and normally water more available to the plant. All right, so these are the two kind of fertilizer I will be using. The one to the right has about 23% nitrogen in it, the same as last time. And the one to the left has about 4%. And it has some iron as well. So I'm just gonna stick with these two. All right, so this one will go into the backyard, and this one will go on the side, just as last time. So this won't do anything for your lawn this year. It's just a preparation for next year. So if you add the last kind of fertilizer to store away in the roots, this is gonna help your lawn bounce back from winter dormancy a bit faster. And I mean, it's all about a game of beating the neighbors to it, right? And if you do this, I'll promise you, you'll beat them to it. You'll get a greener lawn faster than them, unless of course they watch this video too, which we hope they don't. All right, so why do you have two handheld spreaders, Sam, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, stranger on the internet. And the simple answer is, why not? Why not two? It starts out with buying just one of these manual handheld spreaders, and then you upgrade to a battery-driven one and see that it's not that much better. And then suddenly you have two. And why not? But I mean, it's perfect now. Now I can have two different kind of fertilizers in two different spreaders. Awesome. All right, so let's get going with getting these on the lawn. So side strip, backyard. Now for the side strip, I will be using the high nitrogen fertilizer. Let's get that on there. All right, that's it. I'm done with the aerating and the fertilizing. So now this will make it easier for my lawn to absorb all the last nutrients I've just given it, and it will absorb it, and just before it goes into dormancy it will store all this in the root system. So normally I use the roller late fall and early spring to kind of help my lawn get back faster. I mean, you can use that thing every week if you wanted to. It's just a matter of getting it done. The more holes you punch, the easier it will be for the lawn to kind of absorb nutrients, air and water. So there's nothing wrong with using it every week, every month if you want, but I usually use it late fall and early spring. And as I said, I'm actually curious to see which side will actually come back faster, or if I have any difference now that I've used a fertilizer with no nitrogen versus a fertilizer with a lot of nitrogen in it. Personally, I don't think it will matter at all, but that's just my personal opinion. I've never tried this. It will be exciting to see in spring if this made any difference. But the last application of fertilizer, no matter if you're using nitrogen or no nitrogen, I would advise you to use something at least, because trust me, that will make your lawn come back faster in the spring. So no matter if you want to use nitrogen or no nitrogen, just use something just before the lawn goes into dormancy. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found some value in it. And if you did, please make sure you give a thumbs up before you leave. And I'll see you in the next one.